I don't know that there's, well, good morning, everyone. Hi, happy Friday. Everybody listening on 1320 a.m., salute, good morning. If you're listening on the free Odyssey app, we appreciate you. If you're not listening on the free Odyssey app, go download the free Odyssey app now, search ESPN 1320, and favorite that station. Even if you never listen to us there, it makes us look good. If you're listening on the James Ham and Kyle Madsen Show podcast feed, hello from the past. Hope the future is going well. And of course, the Chatty House, youtube.com/ESPN 1320 and twitch.tv/ESPN 1320. Hello and good morning, whether you're in the Chatty House or not. I got I'm on my way to work today.
Okay.
And I knew, like, there's days in radio, and I shouldn't even say in radio. There's days as a sports fan where you wake up and you're like, oh, a thing is happening today.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a substantial thing happening today. De'Aaron Fox makes his return to Golden One Center. That's a substantial thing that's happening today. And if you are even a little bit of a Kings fan, you know it.
Yep.
So I'm thinking about Justin, when you do this and you have to talk for a couple hours about a thing, you're constantly clanging thoughts around in your head and you're thinking and trying to form your opinions. And I'm driving up Eureka toward our station, and I got a text from a Sacramento media member that says, "Bro, that's odd."
Okay.
And then my Siri tells me that they sent a link from the New York Times.
Oh, yes.
And I went, oh no. Because the dots connected immediately. New York Times is The Athletic.
Of course.
I'm getting a text from a Sacramento media person that says, bro. As in, like, dude, what the hell? And then I went, well, De'Aaron Fox is back today. Who writes for The Athletic and is in Sacramento?
Well, it's Sam Amick.
Sam Amick, the post-mortem writer in NBA media.
Of course.
The number one guy for the TikTok of how everything went down.
Of course.
Not the TikTok like a video, like the clock. And I went, uh-oh. And I got to my car, and typically my routine in the morning is I pull up to a parking spot, I get my things, and I walk in the door. I sat in my car and I read the entire thing just about the machinations of what went on behind the scenes that led to De'Aaron Fox's departure.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack.
A lot.
Yeah, and again, like we've said this a bunch of times, like this story is way more complicated than people think it is.
Yep.
And maybe that's why we've taken a certain approach that we have, because a lot of what was written we already knew.
Sure.
But also there's even more backstory and there's more twists and turns hidden within. There's nuances to Amick's article that we're not just going to explode and like break down, because there are some nuances to this thing that I think he just, took a softer touch to, and some things that he went in on.
Yep.
But let's be honest here. This is a holy mess, and it has been for 13 years.
Yep.
It has. So 12 years, whatever it is. Like, you have to learn from the past. People who don't know history are doomed to repeat it, right?
That's it.
And we just keep repeating the same exact thing again and again and again, and it's tiring. And I guess maybe that's why you've seen more negativity out of myself specifically over this last couple of weeks, because like we've laid this whole thing out in the offseason, how this could go.
Sure.
Every single step of the way, it's gone that way. The only outlier is that Doug Christie somehow has been able to get this team to win.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's like, okay. And I'm happy for Doug.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I want Doug to win. Not only does it make my job more entertaining, does it make this, sitting here for 2 hours and talking more entertaining, but on top of that, I have a soft spot in my heart for Doug. Doug is a friend, and I want to see him succeed. So it's a good thing, right? And so, but at the same time, that doesn't change the fact that the trajectory of the franchise is in a weird and like very rocky place.
Right. You mentioned it. Over 30 games are 19-11 under Doug Christie. That is rock solid.
Yep.
And in the scope of this year, you see like, okay, arrow pointing up. They're within what are they? 2 games back of the 6th seed right now? They're 2 back. Yeah, they're 2 back of the 6th seed. Right? No, 1.5. 1.5 back of the 6th seed. I think. Is that right? 2.
Something like that. They're right there.
I think I didn't update this. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
It's 2.
It's 2 games back. Either way, they're right there. They could go win 3-4 games in a row. They could be in a playoff spot.
Yep.
And so that's like, okay, that's good. I thought we talked about it yesterday. The Denver performance wasn't a great loss, but I think they played pretty well. But long term, this is where some of the issues lie, is in this piece. And Anthony Slater also contributed to the reporting on this piece. That Amick and Slater wrote, where the larger problem with the Kings is not the roster. It's not even necessarily the front office. What I took away from this article was there are so many cooks in this kitchen.
Yes.
To me, it should go like there's a GM.
Yep.
Not a GM and an assistant GM. And if the assistant GM is there, he's over here doing assistant stuff. The GM has the say on the roster with input from coaches and an assistant GM, but the GM has the say. Owner signs off on it. That's how it goes. The way Slater makes this, Amick and Slater make this look and make this sound is as though it's like GM has a say, assistant GM also has a say, and then there's ownership, and then this just group of people in ownership's orbit where everybody has a voice, and it leads to this chaos. It leads to confusion on what direction is this team heading? What are we going to do with Mike Brown? What are we going to do with De'Aaron Fox? What's the direction of this team? How do we want to build this thing? There's not a cohesive direction organizationally where everybody from the bottom rung of the organization to the very tippy top is all rowing in the same direction. There's not that.
Oh, no.
And my takeaway was De'Aaron Fox recognized that and went, hey, I've watched this for 8 years. It looked like we were past it. We're clearly not. I would like to not play basketball here anymore because this isn't going to change.
No, he's lived through the chaos. And you get to a point, I mean, you go read Amick's article.
I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, you get to a point where, again, out of nowhere, the owner's daughter is part of the conversation. And then the owner's daughter's boyfriend is part of the conversation. And there's like confusion. Like, and you said there are too many cooks in the kitchen. And I responded to that. And I said, it's more like a culinary school.
Yeah, not quite cooks.
Because there are a bunch of cooks. And then there are a bunch of people who think they're cooks who aren't cooks yet. And so you're trying to manage like a gigantic kitchen with a whole bunch of people who have very different like skill levels.
When they talk about like Chris Mullin's been involved, and this is over the years.
Yeah.
Chris Mullin's been involved, and Jerry West for a time.
Joe Dumars was like this mythical figure that we never once talked to. He never once talked to the media the entire time. He was here as like literally like a consigliere to the owner. He was the guy who there was like this like weird structure where you would have to take the general manager and the assistant general manager would then have to take their stuff to Vivek. Vivek would take it back to Joe Dumars. It would go back. Like, it's just chaos. Just like, what are we doing?
Sounds horrible.
Well, the problem is like, and I have, like, I want to get this out of the way right now. I have no problems with Anjali being part of what's happening.
Sure.
She's the owner's daughter. There has to be an heir apparent. There's like, look at every other organization. The Lakeups, I think like 47 people within the Warriors franchise are like that are on the payroll have a last name of Lakeup. You go to the Atlanta Hawks, like the owner's son is tied in with the assistant, with the general manager.
Hiring the homies.
Yeah. You go anywhere. You go to Denver, the Cronkies, like they're like, that's the way this goes.
No doubt.
But it's one thing to be part of ownership, and there's another thing to be part of management. And what you can't really do, you need a separation of church and state. You got to have the three houses here, right? Where you have checks and balances, where like the ownership side, that's fine. If the daughter's part of the ownership side, what she can't be is part of ownership and part of the front office side, because then it becomes like this.
Right. If
like,
you want to have,
who are we working with here?
If you want to have, and I have no idea, by the way, in this cornucopia of people, I have no idea like what the power rankings are. But the point is, if you want to have your daughter, son, whoever start to like, hey, I'm getting up there. At some point, we're going to need to transition this. That's fine. Like you said, that's how this goes. That doesn't mean, hey, what do you think about what the GM's doing? How do you feel about the coach? Like, what should we do here?
Yeah.
Like, no, there needs to, like I said, ownership is always going to have the say. They're going to have, because they have to sign off on everything. It's ostensibly their money that's being dealt with.
Yep.
But there needs to be a single figure with the say, with the final say, where when De'Aaron Fox and his representation go, hey, don't like the way this is shaping up, they can just go to Monty McNair, the GM in this situation, and go, hey, what's the deal? Here's where we're at. Where are you at? This is it. But it's like they go to Monty McNair, but then it also might need to be Wes Wilcox, and it might also need to be Angelina, and it might also need to be Jeremy Lamb, apparently.
Yeah.
Or something. And then also Matina, and then also any random consultant who just happens to be in
Alvin
that year.
Gentry.
Alvin Gentry. Yes, that's it. Thank you. I was Vlade was the only name coming back to me.
Well,
but
no,
he's
Vlade's
around.
part of it too.
Yep, he's around. So like, so you see here how it could be really difficult. Imagine you're trying to steer a ship through a storm. And instead of having one captain who's like steering the ship and everybody has their own job and they're all going to, everybody's like, I'll take the wheel. No, let me grab the wheel. I think we need to do this. And now you've got 7 people all trying to navigate this ship when, hey, you know what? This is really a one-person job and everybody else kind of needs to fall in line and listen to this person.
Well, that and add in the next layer. The next layer is imagine being the face of all of that. Imagine being the front of the boat, whatever that statue is, or Leonardo DiCaprio holding up.
Sure. Kate
Winslet. You know, imagine being that person.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly where De'Aaron Fox is, where he's the guy out in front of all of it while everybody else keeps changing directions and everything else behind you.
They hit the iceberg and everyone went, Jack, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's like, what save me for?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So it's difficult for me, and this gets to kind of where we're headed with today's conversation with De'Aaron Fox and the Spurs coming into Golden One Center. To me, and I know that there are people who disagree, and I would love to hear from you. 916-909-1320, 916-909-1320. I walked away from this piece in The Athletic, and I already kind of had my thoughts on this, just kind of knowing some A, whatever's public, and B, some of the stuff behind the scenes. After reading this in The Athletic, I have a really, really difficult time blaming De'Aaron Fox for wanting out. I don't necessarily love the way he did everything in Sacramento.
Of course not.
But to ask out of the situation when you read how chaotic it is and it seems, and it doesn't seem like there's a path toward that changing anytime soon, it's really difficult for me to be like, wow, can't believe he wanted out.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to tell you how to fan. You go to the game tonight or you sit in front of your TV tonight. If you want to boo De'Aaron Fox, boo De'Aaron Fox. I don't think he said anything negative about the city. He hasn't said anything negative about the fan base. The only thing he's been negative about is the overall experience, the chaos that he endured over 7.5 years. 4 NBA head coaches, multiple front office, 2 front offices. Like, there was chaos, and he was hoping that they were done with the chaos, and he was entering the prime of his career. Yeah. He turned 27 in December, and he looked at this and said, where are we going, and what am I doing here? And I don't blame him.
Here's the thing. I see, I can't sit here and read everything that's in the chat, but I'm trying to keep up with what kind of the thoughts are. If you don't think De'Aaron Fox was a number 1 guy and he wasn't going to lead the Kings to a title as a number 1 guy, that's fine. I don't hate the take necessarily. Like I said, I that was kind of my biggest problem with him on the court. It's like, dude, can you just take over and be that dude? And he never did. And now he's in a place where he's going to be the very clear number 2. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, okay, I get it now. And if you are saying good riddance, De'Aaron Fox, we're never going to win with you anyways, go play elsewhere. I don't necessarily blame you, but I'm also not going to sit here and wonder or necessarily lay the blame at his feet for not wanting to deal with what's going on with the Kings.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, I like Fox has always been brash and unapologetic. Always, like all the way throughout his career here, he's always been that. And so why would he be anything different on the way out the door?
Sure.
Why would he ask for anything different? Yep. And like you all embraced him when he was that way, and you laughed when he talked about, going on Tinder when he was a 19, 20-year-old kid. He's always been the same guy. He did not change hardly at all. The only thing in the end, he just had it up to here with like the chaos. And
Sure.
and I get it.
Sure. If you're out on De'Aaron Fox, or if you're going to boo him tonight, why?
Yeah.
Like, what do you, that's what I'm not judging. I just, from my vantage point, I don't see the argument for I'm going to boo that guy tonight. So I want to know, I genuinely, like I said, I'm not trying to be like, hey, you got to explain yourself, because fan how you want to fan. Neither James nor I nor Joe are going to tell you, hey, this is what you have to do tonight.
No.
I just want to know the logic behind it.
Yep.
Or if you're going to cheer for De'Aaron Fox, again, once the ball's tipped, boo the hell out of whoever. Like but pregame, if you're going to boo, I want to know why. If you're going to cheer for him, I want to know why. 916-909-1320, 916-909-1320. That's the Elk Grove Kia talk line. There was another little tidbit in this Amick and Slater article that really jumped out. It had nothing to do with De'Aaron Fox. We'll talk about that as well. He's James Ham. I'm Kyle Madsen. Joe Brazil's pushing buttons and doing a bunch of other stuff too. We're sponsored by Jiffy Lube. It's the Insiders on ESPN 1320, Sacramento Sports Leader.
Mark, this is a good question. They probably would take it from you, or at least ask you. I mean, they might ask you to leave, but they'd probably take it from you. Yeah.
Huh. You didn't leave him on hold. You might get there eventually.
Yeah.
That's so funny. We'll get to this for sure. We'll get to the Luke Locke stuff.
Yeah.
KD 916-909-1320, 916-909-1320. Would love to hear from Kevin Durant today. That'd be great. That's fair, man. We got beef, bro.
No, yeah, like I don't care either way. Like I don't. I'm ambivalent to like if you're booing or not.
Yes, facts. You can boo whoever you want. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I would like to know why.
And you spent $4,500 on tickets?
Yeah, Kevin Durant is not cheaping out, dude. Kevin Durant's sitting courtside. He's got feet on the floor.
Wow. All right.
Yes, because he's coming back to Sacramento tonight. It's the story.
Man, there's a lot going on here.
There's so much happening.
There's a lot going on in the chat today.
I like you guys so much. I want everybody to know that. Okay, he's on 2, and then the other guy's on 1. Okay, great. Never walk Cornelia Street again. Yeah, last night I do this little the sports updates for 98 Rock and 96.9 The Eagle. And I just record them that night once all the kind of the action's done. I just write a little script. It's 50 seconds or whatever. It's super easy. And last night I get all set up. I get the thing written. I check and make sure there's nothing I missed. And then I go into record. I'm like 20 seconds into recording. And I'm like, that looks weird. And I had not plugged my mic in.
I saw your tweet about that.
Step 1, plug the mic in.
Plug the mic in.
Missed it. Great. I'm going to have you give me those names again. Okay, so who's on 2? And he wants to talk Kings? Great.
Now, back to the Insiders with James Ham and Kyle Madsen, brought to you by Jiffy Lube on ESPN 1320.
He's James. I'm Kyle. I'm going to make it very clear. We're going to go to the phone. Let's go to the phones. Good fade. I'm going to make it very clear. We don't care whether you boo or not tonight.
Oh,
when
no.
De'Aaron Fox you can boo, you can cheer.
Yeah.
You can be silent. You can stand. You can say, don't yell profanities at people. Don't start fights. Don't be, that's within the realm of the rules, though. Do whatever the hell you want.
Happy cry, sad cry.
Do it. Yeah, exactly.
There's going to be a tribute video.
Joe is here too. Sorry,
I'll
get that down.
That's one of the little things that was thrown into Amig's article is that there will be a tribute video tonight, and rightfully so.
No doubt. Whatever you think of De'Aaron Fox, he was the tip of the spear that helped break the 16-year playoff drought.
He's also the player that's all-time leader in assists, all-time leader in steals during the Sacramento era.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would have been the all-time leader in points scored. He would have been the all-time leader in games played.
Sure.
Probably by the end of this season, he would have been all-time leader in games played.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a messy divorce.
I'd be. I'll save this though.
Okay.
So yeah, do whatever you want tonight, man. I personally, if I was a fan sitting in a seat tonight, I wouldn't boo. Although it would be electric if during this like heartfelt tribute video, boos were just raining down. That would create some real tension for the game.
Yeah.
Just as a
I'm intrigued to see what happens tonight.
I really can't wait.
Yeah, Kyle is trying to incite him.
I'm not. I'm not trying to incite anything. That's crazy. Let's get to the Elk Grove Kia talk line 916-909-1320 916-909-1320. If you're going to the game, are you booing De'Aaron Fox? Or are you cheering De'Aaron Fox? And if you're not going to the game, if you did go, would you boo or would you cheer? We'd love to know. Dustin, you're on the Elk Grove Kia talk line. What's up, man? Okay, you're good. We'll get to Dustin here in a moment. I wonder what the sentiment would be if... Oh, okay, they're gone? Oh, weird. Oh, you know why? That's my fault. Sorry. Dustin, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Nope. Dustin. Oh, is he there?
Yeah.
Dustin, call back. That's my bad. I did something on my end. I'm not used to having you hit the phones. So, Joe, go ahead. Let's go to TC on line 3. Dustin, go ahead and call back. TC, what's up, man?
Hammer, Kyle, what's up?
Chilling, bro.
Hey, man, look, we knew it was gonna get spunky today, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the fans' point, from the Spurs media, like today is just gonna be a hostile day. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's just gonna do what they're gonna do, regardless of the fact, right? But you know how I feel about Fox, I respect and love everything he did. That's why I'm gonna leave it alone. I just felt like, bro, we loved you and we wanted you was supposed to be that dude. You had everything to be that dude, the number one dude, but you constantly want to take a back seat. I don't care about what's going on with the ownership or none of that, bro. We're talking about you as we wanted you to be a leader. We wanted you to be that guy. You be him, but you steadily want to take a back seat, bro. And I just didn't feel that. So other than that, I'm going to move on and move forward. But personally, that's how I felt as far as a fan, bro. I'm out.
No doubt. Appreciate it, TC. That makes sense to me. If maybe this is where I'm missing the forest for the trees. Maybe the what's the like the not discontent, the maybe the boos for Fox are less about how he left and more like, yeah, hey man, didn't feel like you gave 100%, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean you can boo for whatever you think. Like I do know that, like there are plenty of games where you could look at De'Aaron Fox's stat line, or you can look at the way he played on the court and feel a certain way. Like I totally agree. But I also like you got to look at the entirety of the situation and how, in Sacramento, every time you take a step forward, you take at least one step backwards, and sometimes it's two. And sometimes it's three. And that's a problem. Like if you're a player who's entering his prime, if you're a player who keeps missing out on all NBA and all-star games, even though you have some of the best stats in the league, because your franchise is considered, it's just looked at in a different way than the other franchises in the league around you, then that's a problem. So again, I like a player is going to go where he's wanted and where he can make the most money.
Sure.
And at a certain point in their career, they want to go where they're going to win.
Yep.
And I can look at this situation here and tell you that we've been asking for the same thing that Fox was asking for 2 years.
Yep.
And it never materialized.
Yep. No doubt.
And that's tough.
Sure is. Is Dustin back? I'm going to do this right this time. Go ahead, Dustin. You're on the Elk Grove Kia talk line. What's up?
What's good, guys? What's good, Kyle? Good
my man. Appreciate you.
Shout out to my man Joe for getting the production job. Big,
yes, sir.
Big homie of him.
Yes, sir.
And I think that tonight is kind of going to go like an SEC kind of basketball game. I'm in Alabama. I live in Alabama. Grown and raised in Sacramento. But I feel like he's going to get booed when he gets the ball. But I don't know. I feel like the fans kind of feel a little bit betrayed. But me personally, I'm a big fan of Fox. Loved him. Kind of was there when my dad passed away. We drafted him. So got a little sentimental value for him. But it's going to be interesting tonight, man.
All right. Very good. So you're not going to boo the television from Alabama? No. Okay. It sounded like a no. It sounded like you wouldn't. And that's why I that's why this is even interesting to me, because I think there's a portion of the fan base, I have no idea what percentage, that kind of feels like that.
Yeah. Like, I think I told you like the Kings stats from a couple of years ago is like 19% of their season ticket holders have social media. That's it.
That's crazy.
And that means
I would have said like 50 and thought I was shooting low.
And that means that like 80% of the people in the building aren't 100% attuned to everything that's happened here.
Yeah.
And you still had a lot of boos when his picture flashed up on the screen.
Yeah.
And to me, that was like really telling that whatever is out there has permeated a large percentage of the fan base.
Yeah.
And, like whether it's listeners on the radio, whether it's, people who read the newspaper or whatever, they're reading a lot of what's happened here and they don't like from his side.
And if you feel like, regardless, let's remove the organizational element of this and why he left. If you're a fan, and let's say you're not on social media, you don't have social media, you own a flip phone, and you're not on social.
Yep.
And you just go to a lot of Kings games. If you feel tonight like, man, De'Aaron Fox quit on the Kings, he did not give 100%, or he did not play his best, or he did not want to be here, and it showed. If that's how you feel, there's nothing I'm going to say, James is going to say, D-Lo or Casey, there's no report that can come out in The Athletic, ESPN, or otherwise that is going to make you feel like, oh, okay, never mind, I feel okay about this. Because if your vibe is, hey, you know what, I think he's a better player than he showed, and I think he kind of quit on the Kings, then that I would boo that too if that was my thought. I don't, and so again, this is not, I don't blame anybody for feeling how they want to feel. I'm just trying to get a lay of the land going into tonight. Like, hey man, what's the vibe at Golden One? That's how I'm looking at this.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, like the vibes when Doug took over instantly turned around, and then this got in the way of those vibes. So I get why people are like, look, things were going well, like the season was turning around. Why did you have to do this? And I think you have to understand that the decision was made when they fired Mike Brown. Like that decision, the management went into the decision to fire Mike Brown with the full understanding, 100% understanding that when they did that, De'Aaron Fox no longer wanted to be there. He had made it very clear during the offseason. He said, I played for 3 coaches already. This is my 4th coach. I don't want to play for another one here.
And I think he was close with Mike Brown, but I also think there was just a stability factor there.
Yeah, that's it. Like there's like, in all sincerity, he really likes Doug Christie. I know he does. They've known each other forever. Doug has always had his back. He really likes Doug Christie, but he's like, look, here we go again. And Doug is an interim. There's no guarantee that I'm not going to play for my 5th and 6th coach.
That's what it's Amick and Slater refer to in their article.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not a slam dunk that Doug Christie is the next head coach.
Nope.
Like, oh my God.
And it's not a slam dunk that Monty and Wes are back. There's a very good chance that there's management change again. There's a very good chance that they hire Doug Christie before they hire a general manager again. Like this cycle of like chaos is very likely to continue.
Yep.
And that's part of the problem where you got a guy who reaches a point in his career where he's like, look, I've got 6 years left probably of my prime, and then maybe a couple of years after that. So I might have 8 years left, 35, maybe 36. Like, do I want to spin my tires, and do I want to never make All NBA again? Do I not want to not make an All-Star team again?
Sure.
All of these things that actually mean something when you're done playing basketball.
Yeah.
They do mean something to you. They the difference between you look at his stats, compare him to a bunch of other people's stats. He has Hall of Fame numbers, and he's not even being considered for All-Star.
Yeah.
And that's tough.
Yep. Let's get to Daniel. Daniel wants to talk Kings and De'Aaron Fox. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, how are you? Thanks for taking my call.
Man. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. The last few weeks, I've been getting the same vibe from Domas that Fox gave right before he asked out. Do you think there's a chance he's going to want to leave in the summer?
Terrific question. Thanks, Daniel. So that's the other aspect of the Slater and Amick article that we were going to get to.
Yep.
It's just a little nugget dropped in there that Domas is looking around and having the same questions De'Aaron is. Has the same issues De'Aaron had. And this summer might go, I'm tired of this. I would like to not play basketball here anymore.
Like, look,
Whew.
like this is going exactly as it looked like it would lay out. We told you this was a possibility, that Mike Brown would get fired, that De'Aaron Fox would ask out, that management would lose their jobs. And then when all of that happens, where's Domas going to be, and what does he want? And does he not want to be here? And we're looking at a guy who's 28 going on 29. Like, does he want to finish his prime here? And that's a tough, like, I would be asking the same questions. And that, again, Domantas Sabonis absolutely adored. We talk about De'Aaron Fox having a good relationship with Doug Christie. Domantas Sabonis adores Doug Christie.
Yes.
Like, they have traveled the world together the last 2 summers, Doug working with Domas every step of the way. And they have this incredible relationship, and it's someone that they literally, like, it makes perfect sense that he would want to sit here and play with.
Sure.
For Doug. But also, like, the chaos is a chaos, man.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Yeah. The instability matters. Sass in the chatty house, one of our chatty house MVPs, says, I feel like that's sensationalism, adding in Domas. I would agree if they were like, and now maybe Domas will ask out, but no, it's reporting. It's like, hey, this is a thing that is happening. And within the context of De'Aaron Fox got so fed up that he asked out, the Kings' other biggest star, when I called De'Aaron Fox the tip of the spear that broke the playoff drought, I saw the people in the chatty house saying, hey, actually it was Domas. Okay, cool. Fine. You can, fine. He might want out too. Or he's going to want out too.
There's a good chance, but like, look, this is why we keep, like, there's easy pathways to avoid all of this, to avoid the chaos. And they never take that off ramp.
Nope.
They look for the chaos in a lot of ways.
kind of
it's
insane.
just like, again, the Mike Brown firing, it was avoidable. Like, if you didn't want to give him the contract, that's one thing. But when they gave him the contract extension, it was with the understanding that he was going to be here for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they gave him $8.5 million a year. That's why they bumped his salary up this year. They didn't just give him that money so they could fire him 30 games in just because. Like, oh, hey, we've got to appease Fox. Like, no, it was with the intention for him to be here. And if you're going to do that, then support him the right way. That's all we were asking for the entire time. And it's what De'Aaron Fox has been asking for. Go get the length and athleticism. Because, like, let's be honest, it's still the same issue. Like, Zach LaVine is facing the same exact issue that De'Aaron Fox faces.
I don't want to relitigate the Mike Brown stuff, but I do think there's I don't think it's a coincidence that they started winning more often once Doug Christie was the head coach.
Well, yeah,
like it feels like there's like this again. I don't want to relitigate that whole thing, but as you said at the top of the show, it's very, very nuanced.
This whole thing is nuanced.
Entire thing,
and I'm not litigating. Like Mike had lost 5 games in a row, and the team was sinking. Like, that's gonna happen.
Charlie, go ahead. It's a big deal when Charlie O hops in. Charlie, can you move your computer so you're centered in the frame here? We got you. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Charlie O, everybody. What's up, man?
Hey, it says my mic's muted. Am I muted?
Nope. You're good.
All good.
All right. I had a question. Okay. I didn't realize, I heard you talking about a tribute video. Is De'Aaron Fox retiring tonight?
No, he's just returning to Sacramento.
Then why are they doing a tribute video?
As a like, hey, thanks for the 8 years. It's a pretty standard thing when a person comes back to,
which is absolutely ridiculous.
The Warriors did a giveaway for Klay Thompson.
Ridiculous. Giving everybody little hats to say, hey, Klay, come back to the party. We love you. You went to Dallas. You left us in the lurch. I am out of my freaking mind. I am out of my mind. De'Aaron Fox did not do everything that he could do to stay in Sacramento. As a matter of fact, he even said, my preferred destination, when you tell me your preferred destination, you're telling me you're out of the house. Okay. And he said his preferred destination was San Antonio. So they got him to his preferred destination. That is his tribute video. Okay. That is his tribute video. Because now, for the next 5 to 7 years, De'Aaron Fox's pledged work is to come back to Sacramento, or every time Sacramento goes to San Antonio, is to beat their ass and make sure every time they play, they do not make the playoffs. Okay. And tonight, we're going to put this guy on the floor and give him a 5 to 7 minute tribute video because he left us.
Yes.
You don't go to divorce court and give a tribute video to your ex-wife. Okay? I want to give a tribute video to my ex-wife and then sue her for everything that you've got.
Sports teams and personal relationships are
slightly different.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They are.
They absolutely are not. They are very personal. Okay, and this guy got up and left.
Here's the deal. If they didn't do that, the story would be, wow, look how petty the Kings are.
Yes.
Look at the Kings. The Kings don't care.
I don't care. Who's judging us? For what? 72 hours players judge?
It's the same exact organization who didn't have a press conference when they fired their head coach for 40 days. Yeah. And the only reason they did is because
they
made a trade.
That's because that was a total bungalow jungle.
Hang on, Charlie. My boss is telling us we got to step aside for a second. So it's safe to say you won't be cheering De'Aaron Fox tonight.
Not only will I not be cheering De'Aaron Fox, I will be booing through the entire tribute video. Perfect. And I will be booing every time he touches the ball.
I love this.
Amen, Charlie.
Love this. All right. Charlie, appreciate you. Joe Brazil.
Medulla oblongata to everyone.
Yes, James, I'm Kyle. We're the Insiders. Joe, hit the button.
Hey, I honestly think, like, again, everyone is allowed to feel however they want here. And I don't think we've sat here and told you how to feel. The whole time, I think what we've tried to give you is that it is way more complicated than you think.
We literally, so there's I love Charlie. I didn't want to
Yeah.
That's facts. I didn't want to cut him off. There's just literally like specific times we have to do stuff. So I'm only a couple songs in. It's fine. Lisa's album was fine. Jenny's been fine so far. Rose's is pretty good, but Jisoo's album of the Blackpink solo stuff is by far the best. Yeah, dude. Charlie let the clip go. That was awesome. Hey, this is the number one cue. This is Space Dragon Chicken.
Yeah.
Gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the thing, man. For a lot of people, it is black and white. It is that guy wanted to leave. He doesn't play for my team anymore. Boo.
Yep.
Salute.
I'm fine with that.
I feel like I don't really want to boo, but if I get a couple of those $5 beers in me, there is $5 beers at Golden Once, and that's all I'm gonna say. But if I get about $20 worth of that $5 beer in me, I might.
Are they like this big?
They are very small. Yeah, it's at the sushi. Yeah, have you guys seen that little sushi hand cart in the?
Oh,
it's
don't
in the
give
second
up your
floor.
secrets.
Okay,
don't give up your secrets, man.
Right. I guess you guys also probably never go up to the second floor, anyways.
Second floor.
I walked up there once.
I do.
Only to walk back.
One of my favorite things to do is to go up to the draft house.
Yeah. You
That's
actually
such a great spot.
I remember that was one of you told me, you were like, well, I was like, well, I don't know. Just get a cheap ticket, get in, go stand up
Head to
there.
the draft house.
Unfortunately, I'm not the tallest.
Same.
True. Same, but different. But yeah, no, it's fun. I like it. It's actually a good view up there. If you guys haven't tried the draft house yet, just standing, check it out.
Shout out to the draft.
Someone said Joe is the complete opposite of Casey. That is so funny.
Hey, that's facts.
Nosebleed Joe, bro. That's so funny.
Nosebleed Joe.
Courtside Kenny, nosebleeds Joe.
That's awesome. I don't mind Kona. Kona's fine for $5. Absolutely. Salute.
Yeah, it's Kona's. Yeah, it's actually not bad. And the sushi, no joke, like it's really good sushi.
You're a big like gas station sushi guy.
I know. Hey, well, okay. Here's the thing. I have a
not
litmus
judging,
test.
by the way.
I know you're not.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So let's start by saying it's not gas station sushi. It's from Sprouts.
Oh, snap.
That's a big difference.
Okay.
They have people there that are paid to make sushi.
I'm sorry. You know what? You're right. You said that. There's that burrito place in the Chevron that people always get food from.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I had. That's what I had. That's right. You get it.
You thought I was getting my sushi from the Chevron?
Yeah, bro. If they got a fire burrito spot, maybe they got a fire sushi chef back there. I don't know.
The food at the Chevron's actually not that bad.
Oh, no. They make a really nice breakfast burrito.
Yeah, rock solid.
Yeah.
50 seconds. Okay.
See, this Cam Scadaboo is being sued by former teammate Mateos, maybe? Cater-Garris, who claims Scadaboo's reckless actions caused a severe elbow injury that ended his football career. It was a golf carting incident.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Scadaboo jumped on their golf cart, collapsing the cart and causing a ruptured tendon in his elbow.
Dang.
That sucks.
Now, back to the Insiders with James Ham and Kyle Madsen, brought to you by Jiffy Lube on ESPN 1320.
And make sure to listen to YouTube or watch at youtube.com/ESPN 1320, twitch.tv/ESPN 1320. Because we just yap through the breaks.
Oh, yeah.
And our guy Joe Brazil is just dropping knowledge on where to get good sushi and $5 beers at Golden One Center.
I know.
Oh, my God.
Thank you. Yeah, and I thank you in the chat for backing me up and saying it's not gas station sushi. This has actually been
It's not pre-made like, oh, go grab it out of the box.
No.
Sushi. It is made in front of you.
The guy's there. The owner's there.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, absolutely. Go check it out. Shout out to them.
Absolutely. What were we doing? De'Aaron Fox stuff? Yeah, we had to. Charlie had to let it go. And Charlie, if you want to pop back in here, go ahead. But to me, I don't think the exit was so ugly that you don't tribute video him. Like there's every player that's like the Klay Thompson Golden State Warriors exit, and I know that its situation's different because of what each player accomplished with their respective teams, but that wasn't like a fun thing. That wasn't like a nice thing where they said, "Hey Klay, you know what? Go do it. Go play elsewhere." Like, "Hey man, good job." Like that was an ugly kind of breakup.
It was.
And then he came back and they treated him like royalty. So you do the tribute video. I'm not saying they need to do like when Scott Moak does his intros tonight, he doesn't need to do the like, and starting at guard number 4. Like he doesn't need to do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, just say his name like normal. You play the tribute video. Fans can boo or cheer as they want. And then it's done. It's over with. You never have to do it again. It's 5 minutes before his return to Sacramento. You're getting it out of the way this year, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
In a game that doesn't really matter. Can you imagine if you wait till next year and the Spurs don't visit Golden One until February and you're locked in a playoff race with them and now you've got to show this tribute video for a guy who's been gone for a year? That's weird now.
I think it would have been better though for everyone to have a little bit of a cooling off time. You know, that's why I was like, if he didn't play because of his pinky or because they've fallen off, I would have been okay with them pushing it out till next year. But that's just me, because I think, you know, cooler heads will prevail. Like in the end, like you have to wait and see. Like I'll just ask the question: would anyone feel different about the De'Aaron Fox situation if Domantas Sabonis does the exact same thing this offseason? I mean,
I wouldn't. I'm past the point of blaming anybody.
Yeah.
For not wanting to play in the chaos of this organization right now. Until they hire a GM and the ownership group says, "Okay, GM, you're running stuff. Let us know when you need us to sign off on something, and we got you. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye." You run that. Until that happens, like, yeah, I think this is just kind of be it.
Okay.
The fact that in the 22-23 season, like everything was heading the right way. And then we can talk about team build, and you might have gripes with certain players. You might think De'Aaron Fox is not that dude. You might think Domantas Sabonis is not that dude. But I know coming out of the 22-23 season, my thought process on De'Aaron Fox was, man, hey, if he doesn't hurt his pinky, they win that series, and he's the best player in the series. They're going to the second round. And if that had happened, I would be fascinated to know, A, where the Kings are now, and B, if it all kind of played out the same way, if De'Aaron Fox is viewed the same way.
Yeah. It's a good question, man. It's just a weird situation where, like, I don't know how this is all going to end. You know, like this, but that's why we go to the ballpark. It's why we go check out the game. And like, you want to see how fans react. I want to see how Fox reacts. I want to see if we have a revenge game or we have a shutdown game from Keon Ellis. Like, I'm really excited to see, like, what does it look like?
The fact that this game every game is big for the Kings. Every game matters for the Kings.
Oh, yeah, totally.
They need to win them all. But the Spurs aren't good. And they're not playing well. And Victor Wembanyama's out. And they're just kind of playing out the string here. Maybe they're battling for the 10 now that the Mavericks are all beat up. But like in the scope of big games the Kings have coming up, this would not be one if not for De'Aaron Fox. Like, this is fascinating tonight.
Oh, no, it is. It's totally fascinating.
I'm so excited. I'm spending my Friday night at Golden One. It's going to be great.
Yeah, the last thing you want to see if you're a Kings fan is for Kings to actually lose to Fox, because it's not just, it's not just the, the magnitude of losing to Fox. It's the standings. You can't handle a loss, and you want to let the Spurs right back in. Okay, there it is.
Yeah, we've talked like you got to get the winnable ones. This is an eminently winnable game.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's a hugely important game.
Yeah,
and a team that you've lost to multiple times this season.
Yep.
So yeah, this is a big game. That's funny. Did Cousins get a tribute video? Kells 916. I don't remember if Cousins got
I genuinely do not remember.
I don't remember. He was here, I want to say 6.5 seasons. Yeah, that's a good question. Was it 5.5 or 6.5? 2010 drafted. I'd have to look.
Don't know the answer off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Did he? I don't. Okay. John Poles says yes, he did. I was there. Oh no. There we
go.
All right. Kings starters tonight. Keon Ellis, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, and Jonas Valanciunas, with Malik Monk and Domantas Sabonis already ruled out.
Yep.
For the Spurs, probably looking at Chris Paul, De'Aaron Fox, Devin Vassell, Bismack Biyombo, and Harrison Barnes. Victor Wembanyama and Charles Bassey both out. You mentioned Fox versus Keon and your interest in that matchup.
Yeah.
That should be box office.
No, it should be incredible. I hope that Keon keeps a cooler head than he did in the Denver game, because I thought Keon got a little outside of his game and the kind of crazy fouls.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need all 6 tonight. You're going to have to play really, really close. And like, let's be honest, the Kings also have, Keegan Murray to throw at De'Aaron. And that's a guy who, went one-on-one against him all summer last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they know each other extremely well. Like, this should be a fun matchup.
My one worry, and we'll get to keys to victory here in a bit. My one worry here is the Kings spend so much defensive energy on Fox, making sure that he's not beating them, and Devin Vassell gets 30, and Chris Paul gets 15, and Harrison Barnes gets 20. And now all of a sudden they're in this dogfight. And De'Aaron Fox has 12 points on 3 of 10, but he's got 9 assists, and everybody else is lighting it up because the Kings are making sure that De'Aaron Fox is not the one beating him.
Yeah, that all the focus is on one player.
Which might be the smart thing, because if you don't do that, he might go get 50.
Maybe.
Like, yeah, we spent time on this radio program talking about, like, man, how do you get De'Aaron Fox mad night in and night out? Because when he's mad, he's really good. It's like, you think he's not going to, if you told De'Aaron Fox you're going to lose the rest of the games for the year, but you win this one, he would win this one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he would win this one and then go get his pinky surgery tomorrow.
I kind of think that's what's going to happen. To be totally honest.
Yeah.
Get this game out of the way, go get your surgery, be done for the year.
I mean, maybe that's what happens. I just know that fans like I think there are going to be a lot of fans in attendance that will show appreciation for Fox. Mm-hmm. There are going to be boos.
What do you think the split's going to look like?
I'm going to go 75-25 fans cheering versus boos. And then once we get to the point where the game starts, yeah, he'll probably hear more boos every time he touches a ball. But like early in the game and tribute video and stuff like that, and I don't think there's going to be a 5-minute tribute video. It's usually like 2 minutes of tribute video.
Yeah. So that's the thing is I feel like we're going to see a tribute video where people are going to be, I think, probably respectful. And then when he gets announced, when they do starting lineups,
yep,
and they say guard number 4, De'Aaron Fox, or whatever Scott Moak says, I think that's where I was leaning like 60-40 cheers versus boos.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm off a little bit, 75, 60, 75. Like, I think that there are a lot more people who have appreciation for De'Aaron Fox, and a lot of kids who grew up with De'Aaron Fox being their favorite player.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people will wear number 5s tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think will happen. Like, not the whole entire,
no,
arena.
No doubt.
But certainly enough where you're going to be like, okay.
I'm a little bummed we don't get Malik Monk tonight.
Yeah, I'm
Monk
bummed
v.
we
Fox
don't
would
get
have been fun.
Monk and like Sabonis, like all of it.
Yeah.
The beef, the who unfollowed
sorry,
who.
what?
The who unfollowed who. The beef. Like, there's a beef between Domas and a perceived beef between Domas and
it tracks.
Yeah,
that one tracked.
I don't know what you're talking about. What do you?
I need a flag over here, dog.
There's no flag for
you
that.
Just tell me you're looking forward to beef. That's
No,
crazy.
the beef.
The
beef between these guys.
It's not better.
All right.
Oh, my Lanta. James Ham's here. I'm Kyle Madsen. Joe Brazil on the ones and twos. Not throwing flags. Joe swallowing the whistle today. The Kings looking to jump back in the win column tonight against De'Aaron Fox and the Spurs. We'll have keys to victory coming up here in a bit on ESPN 1320 at Sacramento Sports Center. Man. The whistle, John. The whistle. We said the whistle.
Imagine I throw a flag right now.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. That'd be crazy.
It does. Like, this is where we're at. Wow.
Man, I'm so glad we talk sports.
Manny, see, there's a thing that we have to do production wise that doesn't involve you.
Yeah.
So hey, Joe, that's going to be kind of a weird cut for you, but if it does, like, just do what you got to do to.
Yes, and Jason
for the purple and black.
I got you. Yeah, it's cool.
You can blame Charlie. Not just that. We had other things going on that we have to do.
No, it's on me.
No, but we didn't know Charlie was going to come in because we were going to take more calls in. And then Charlie came in.
Oh, right. Yeah. Charlie came in with a flamethrower.
He did come in with a flamethrower. He's very angry.
That was great. Oh, is that? You think so? I think he's wearing the Banzitos tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, salute to Lawrence Butler, man. We'll get to that in a little bit. I received a text from the homie Matt George, and he made a good point. The tribute videos are usually a couple minutes after the first or second timeout.
Yeah, it's usually the first break in the first quarter.
Yeah. Okay, then maybe there will be some booze at that point.
I don't know. The game will be going. I don't know. I mean, we had a Harrison Barnes tribute video, didn't we?
I would imagine. I think so.
I mean, they already came through town, right? So, yeah, they came through town.
It's a taco truck, dog. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Stop. Oh. I know they just brought out the Kentucky colored foxes.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's what I was just about to highlight. That's hilarious. Fox was always a Whataburger guy. Whataburger. Always.
Ugh. I went to Whataburger one time. I got a burger. It was super okay.
I think.
Did you say what a burger?
No, I didn't.
You're supposed to get the chicken sandwich.
That's what everybody was like. Oh, well, you don't get the burger. Like, then it's not a good burger spot.
Well, then why isn't it what a chicken sandwich?
Right. Hour number 2. That's James Ham, Kyle Madsen, Joe Brazil on the 1s and 2s. We're hanging out with you till noon. Then we'll hand it off to D'Lo and KC. Thanks, everybody in the chat house. Thanks, everybody listening on ESPN 1320 AM. We appreciate you very much. Talking a lot of De'Aaron Fox and his return to Sacramento today. I want to hit the Oak Grove Kia talk line, but before we do that, DeMar DeRozan caught a little $25,000 fine for his comments about the officials after the game in Denver.
Yeah, Chris Biederman tweeted out those quotes, and that's always going to get you a fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what it is. Like
you do, like players and coaches know they're going to get those fines. It's purposeful.
Yeah, you talk about the officials, you're going to get fined. That's it.
Yep.
So, I mean, there are some times when, as reporters, we like throw the hook out there, like, right. Hey, you're like,
gonna 30 to 14 free throw discrepancy tonight, huh? Thoughts?
But you're you don't want to get a player or a coach fined if they want to come out and start going off on the officials. And it's like, okay, well, let's continue this conversation.
Yeah, right.
That's fine.
Let's hit the Elk Grove Kia talk line. Manny has been very patient, hanging out on hold. Manny, what's going on, man?
Happy National Cereal Day, guys.
Yeah, it's big time for you.
It's big time. Brick up big time, buddy.
Okay.
But I understand everybody's feelings like both ways, right? Like whether you want to cheer or boo. But I also think sometimes you have to take a step back and look at it from the job perspective, right? So like you're at a job, you know, you've been at this company, it's up and down, it's teetering down a little bit. They have this big meeting, see what direction the team is, the job is going, and then you're vocal about your position on leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Come in a couple weeks later, right, or a couple months later, they get rid of your immediate boss.
Yeah.
But nobody says anything. And you're the only one that sounded off about this earlier. So now everybody's whispering and talking about, were you to blame? Were you the one responsible? But nobody's having a meeting to explain everything that's going on. So at this point, you're looking at your own job, and you might enjoy some of the people you work with, but you're not sure about the leadership of this company anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look out for yourself at that point.
Sure.
And that's how I looked at it, of how the dominoes fell. At some point, Fox, he had expressed what he wanted, how he wanted it to go down. It didn't go down that way, and he felt he needed a fresh start somewhere, and that's what he did.
All right, very good. Appreciate the call, Manny. Yeah, that's it. And you take that to any other job. It's like, hey, I don't think I'm going to have the success I would like to have at this job.
Yeah.
And I don't feel confident that leadership is going to do the things that they need to do to put me in the position to have success. They decided I didn't want to play here anymore.
Yeah.
If you hate him for that, salute. Like I got no. Bronson's been on hold since Tuesday. Let's get to our guy Bronson. Shout out. Appreciate the call, Bronson. What's up, man?
Did I make it? Is this real life?
You made it live. You're on the radio, Bronson. What's good, dog?
Hey guys, I just want to get your take on something. Do you think Fox and Monty are going to have any type of interaction? Do you feel like there's bad blood there, or what do you guys think?
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. I think they'll dap each other up pregame. I don't know that there will be like big hugs and in-game interactions. That Malik's honestly probably going to talk a lot of trash from the bench.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I also think in pregame, I think they'll all be out on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be hugs for Harrison Barnes. There are going to be hugs for De'Aaron Fox.
Yep.
I think, Domas and Malik will be in street clothes, but I still think they'll be out there.
Yep.
I think that they want like maybe the photo op just to make it look like everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll work things out outside of the game.
Yeah.
Because feelings get hurt in the moment, but these guys have been friends since they were in high school, and they're college teammates. There's not going to be bad blood moving forward between these guys.
Yep.
And Malik knows that De'Aaron helped him get his big payday in the league.
Yep.
He helped to create a situation where Malik could thrive, and that's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's James Ham. I'm Kyle Madsen. Kings-Spurs tonight at Golden One Center. If you're on hold, we will get to you shortly here on ESPN 1320. The Kings still have to go play tonight. And if we separate ourselves from the De'Aaron Fox of it all, there's still a race for the postseason happening for the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, this is a huge game.
This is a very winnable game.
Mm-hmm.
They played really well in really over the last four. Over the last 4. 5.
Played 1-4 in a row.
5. Yes, there we go.
One.
Then the last one. Last 5. That's what I was looking for. Last 5 games. And even though they lost in Denver, I thought they played pretty well. If they play like they did in Denver, they're going to win by a lot of points tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I was still kind of encouraged despite the result there. So that's as we get to keys to victory, that's going to be one of my keys. Is you got to start fast, and the fans are going to be into it. This is going to have a playoff type of feel tonight, I believe. And if you can get off to a fast start and really get the fans into it, because if you get off to a slow start, now there's tension. Now it's weird. Now the entire arena is getting like, oh, it's a little uneasy. They're down 5 at the end of 1. Like, get out to a fast start. Get up 10 in the first quarter. And really let the crowd get into it. And I think that's when you kind of see the Spurs shut down.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really good key, and it plays very similar into what my first key is. And that's don't get caught up in the moment. This is not a good Spurs team right now.
Nope.
And it's a very winnable game, and it's a team that's 5.5 games behind you in the standings, and you can basically just put them to bed here. Just say, okay, your season's over, right? And that's how the Kings need to approach this. It's going to be an emotionally charged evening.
Yeah.
And the Kings need to find a way to harness that, which they have not done a very good job of at home over the last couple of seasons, and sort of show your best side. We'll ask Doug Christie about him in pregame tonight. How are you going to deal with the emotions of the night? And how are you going to deal with your team's emotions of the night? And at the end of the day, you got to be a pro. You got to be able to walk out there and be stoic, and everyone needs to do their best Harrison Barnes impersonation and just walk out there and just do your job.
Well, I mean, maybe not Harrison Barnes.
Well, I mean, from the professionalism level
sure,
and the way I expect it. Yeah, I mean, look.
Can I tell you when Doug gets asked about the emotions of tonight, you owe me $1 if he says you can't get too high, you can't get too low.
Oh.
That's the thing he's going to say.
Okay, I'll take that bet. I don't think he'll say that.
Okay. All right, very good. I have $1. I literally have $1. So you get $1 if he doesn't say it. You have to ask a question though.
Okay. That's fine.
Very good. Or I can ask, I guess.
There you
I'll
go.
be there. Whatever. Number 2 for me. Pass the damn ball, bro.
Amen.
When the ball moves in this offense, they are really effective. When it stops moving, they're less effective.
Mm-hmm.
It's that easy. Move the ball.
It should not be this difficult, and they seem to make it really difficult about half the time.
Yep.
And so I know it's a little different because you don't have Domas and you don't have Malik, your 2 primary distributors, but that doesn't matter. You've got to find a way to share the rock and to get everybody involved. I thought last game we saw the back cuts from Keon and from, I think Keegan had a back cut that was nice. LaRavia had a back cut that was nice. Keep doing that. All of these nuances of the game, keep doing that stuff. Get everybody involved. That's how you win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me. Keep Fox out of the paint. We don't want paint touches, and we don't want him spraying the hot guy.
No, we don't want those things.
No.
Absolutely. All the things that other teams tried to keep De'Aaron Fox from doing, do that.
Yeah, do that.
Try and keep him from doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. The problem is it's not as easy as with Golden State. A little different now with Jimmy Butler, but when they beat Golden State here at Golden One Center earlier this year, it was like, hey, double Steph, make him get rid of the basketball, and then just make sure he doesn't get the ball back. And you're gonna let those other guys dribble it around and throw a shot at the rim, and you'll live with it.
Yeah.
The problem is if you do that with De'Aaron, okay, now it's getting to Chris Paul, who's not great anymore, but he's still a dynamite floor general, and he's going to get the ball where it needs to go. And then it's going to get to Devin Vassell. And Vassell can put it in the hoop. So Harrison Barnes, we know he can hit an open corner three. That's where you run into a little bit of trouble with the Spurs if you just throw 2 on De'Aaron and make him give the ball up.
Yeah.
So I think how the Kings go about keeping him out of the paint, because I don't know that it's as easy because we know he's so fast. I don't know if it's as easy as, just throw Keon on him and it'll be fine. I think Keon's going to do a good job. I think Keegan Murray will do a good job, but you got to, if he starts beating them off the dribble, you got to have a little bit something else to throw at him.
No, I totally agree. And, like the Chris Paul situation, they're going to put Chris Paul out there to try to instigate and try to get people in foul trouble. That's what they do. And so he'll start with the ball in his hands, and then it'll go to Fox, and they're going to try to get mismatches and all that stuff. It should be interesting.
Number 2 for you.
Number 3, I think.
Are we on number 3?
Yeah, we are. Maybe this is your...
number 3 for me. Sorry, I went backwards.
Yeah.
That's my bad. Number 3 for me. Need Keegan to play big. I need like a double-double from Keegan tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to come up with a different way to, like, I don't necessarily need him to score. That's something we always ask for from him is shoot the ball, be more aggressive. But if you get matched up on Fox, on Chris Paul, on Devin Vassell, back him down, take him into the post, get to that little mid-range that he's so good at, and then, of course, crashing the glass. Their starting group is not a large group of individuals. So the Kings should be able to feast with their starting group on the boards, and that's Jonas Valanciunas, of course, but it's also Keegan. Would love to see a double-double from Keegan tonight.
Yeah, I would like to see Keegan just have a breakout game too, because he's going up against 2 of his mentors in Fox and Harrison Barnes, and go out there and continue this climb that he's been doing over the last month and a half, where he's starting to shoot the 3 better. He's starting to be more active and more part of the game plan.
Yeah, need to see it continue for sure. Number 3 for you.
How about leave the refs alone?
Man.
DeMar just got fined $25,000 for talking trash about the officials. And look, there were bad calls. I'm not going to say there weren't, but bad calls isn't why you lost the game against Denver. You lost the game because you stopped moving the ball. You stopped passing the ball. And, so stay off the officials. Let Doug Christie handle the officials. It is going to be a highly contentious game tonight. There's going to be a lot of emotion. Back away from that and just play the game. Don't worry about the officials. Everything will take care of itself.
Yeah, man, that's right where I'm at. If you get called for a touch foul and then you get hammered on the other end and there's no call, you go play defense.
Yeah,
and I know it's tough because in these high intensity moments, you're competitive. You want to go and you have something go your way on one end that you thought should have gone your way and it didn't, and then the same thing happens on the other end. I know it's frustrating, but that's where you start getting out of your game. That's where you start getting mad, and now you start taking a bad shot, or you throw a bad pass, or you fall asleep defensively, or maybe you're not back in transition. Now they're getting an easy bucket. These are just these little things that Devin Vassell, De'Aaron Fox, going to get in the lane. They might get some calls. Chris Paul is one of the OG foul grifters.
Oh, yeah.
He can be very frustrating to play against. And in a highly charged game like this, it was super easy to fall into that trap.
Oh, yeah.
You can't tonight.
Nope.
I think that's a great key. Do the Kings win?
Yeah.
I was asking.
I think
they do.
I think they do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an emotionally charged game, but I do think that they're just a better team at this point. Yeah.
I think Doug Christie has them in a space mentally where I think they are more capable now than maybe even they were pre-All-Star break to go into a game like this and do what needs to be done to win. I don't think Jonas Valanciunas is going to get that caught up in it. I don't think Jake LaRavia is going to get that caught up in it. I don't even think Zach LaVine's going to get that caught up in it.
No.
So, honestly, the guy I would be worried the most about, maybe throwing up some bad shots and trying to do too much, is Malik, and he's not playing.
Yeah.
So
I think
they're in a good spot to handle a potentially tough situation. I think they win.
I think a lot of the luster's off this game too, because there is no Wemby, there is no Domas, there is no Malik. There could have been a much more broad discussion on this game outside of just the De'Aaron Fox return.
Trying to see how many the Kings are favored by tonight, according to BetMGM. They are 6.5 point favorites. I think they cover. I think it's going to be pretty close, but I think they win by like 9 or 10. Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you.
Very good. That's James Ham. I'm Kyle Madsen. Joe Brazil is on the 1s and 2s. The Kings looking to jump back into the win column tonight against De'Aaron Fox and the San Antonio Spurs. We'll have keys to, nope, that's not right. I have to script these because if not, I fumble over myself. And here we go. I read the wrong one. 3, 2, and 1. Thank you. James is there. I'm Kyle. Joe Brazil behind the glass. Tonight's game at Golden One Center should be a good one. Can't wait to break it all down with you Monday on the Insiders at 10 a.m. right here on ESPN 1320. Coming up next, Lance Woods, one of the GOATs here in Sacramento. He is performing tonight at Laughs Unlimited, tonight and tomorrow. Tickets available at laughsunlimited.com. Can't wait to talk to Lance about De'Aaron Fox, about the state of the Kings, and about nicknames on Basketball Reference. This is going to be a ton of fun with Lance Woods coming up next on ESPN 1320 at Sacramento Sports Center. Hey. Just Ron Burgundy'd it. Did you send him the thing?
What's that? He was there. He was there.
Was he? Oh, he left?
Yeah. Yeah, Chris, you're right. I didn't say the officials didn't affect the game. But the officials always affect the game. Positive, negative, they always affect the game. So go out there and play your game. Like I did not look at the last game as a Kings got beat by the officials game. There are always those games during the season. I didn't look at that game as that. Yeah, where'd Lance go? We had Lance. Now we don't have Lance.
Did he really? That's funny.
Hey, so the reason why it was 30-14 is because, I mean, it was lopsided, but was because the Kings had to foul in the last 5 minutes, the last 3 minutes of the game, and they got a bunch of additional free throws. Like the disparity would have been like 14-22 or 23 free throws. Like that's a disparity for sure, but you're also playing a team that's number 1 in the league in 2-point field goal percentage and scores a ton of points in the paint. Like that's what they do. Points in the paint usually equate to more free throws. So, like, did it impact the game? Okay. But like, look, they got themselves in a situation. They stopped passing the ball. They stopped moving the ball. Talked about it yesterday. What do they have? 8 assists in the first quarter, and then like 8 assists in the third quarter and 1 in the fourth.
Oh, wow. Keegan said that De'Aaron Fox gave his, this is according to Kevin John of ABC 10. He gave his all while he was here, so I'm hoping for the best reception.
He gave his all while he was here, and I'm hoping for a positive reception.
It's not bad.
When he comes in the building tonight.
Hey, if you thought the Kings-Nuggets game was bad, go peep Lakers-Knicks from last night. Yeah, I agree. That's a good Keegan.
Oh, Lance is back.
Oh, is he?
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Lance Woods, what's up, baby?
Hey, what up, man? My bad. My parole officer called. I tried to tell him, look, I just got to do this real quick, and I'm going to check in.
We're in the break right now. The chat can still see you. The stream can still see you. Oh, we got like 30 seconds, and then we're in. How you been, man?
These POs be tripping, man. I'm going to pee in the cup. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? just relax, y'all.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
They're not. Did you tell them to listen to the show?
I told them to listen to the show, but this my problem, man. You rob a few little check cashing places, and now everybody is tripping. It's like, come on, man. The check cashing places only keep about $1,700 in them. You know what I mean? Total for the month.
Right.
Like, what is the punitive damage here? You know what I'm saying? Y'all just don't want to see somebody come up. That's y'all problem.
We're coming back. Here we go.
Now, back to the Insiders with James Ham and Kyle Madsen, brought to you by Jiffy Lube on ESPN 1320.
I'll tell you what. If you can't get to Golden One Center tonight, you should head to Laughs Unlimited, where Lance Woods, Sacramento's very own Lance Woods, is going to be performing. And get your tickets at laughsunlimited.com. He joins us now. Lance, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, I feel great like the Michigan Lakes. How y'all feeling?
That's a bar.
Good, man. We need someone to lighten the mood today, which is
I've been very angry today.
There's a lot of anger. Charlie came in here angry. There's lots of anger. Whoa.
Oh, here we go. We're back.
We lost Lance.
So what are your thoughts on De'Aaron Fox's return to Golden One Center tonight?
Hey, man, I was going to be in attendance, but then I had these shows. You know what I mean? Work getting away all the fun. But man, I hope that the fans show him love and all that. He was here for, was it 7 seasons?
Yeah. 7.5, yeah.
7.5 seasons, man. He played his hardest, man, to help us break the playoff drought. You know what I mean? He was in the community. Like, you know, things didn't end exactly how you wanted to end, but that's how relationships work.
Yep.
You don't go booing your ex. You just hope that her new boyfriend, lose his job.
Very good.
Lance, I told Kyle this the other day. When you and I went to a media day, we had this incredible shtick that never ever saw the light of day. Do you remember when I brought the tape measure and the step stool? And we never ever got to see that. But that was spectacular, wasn't it?
It was great. So that was 2019. So that was the 2019-2020 season. So if you remember that season, they were doing like real player measurements. They was like changing everybody's height.
Yep.
Like, and that going into the season, they were like, oh, we said he was 7'1", but really he's 6'5". It's like, what? It was like all over the league. So players like heights was changing. So then we brought the tape measure through, and I still got all these pictures of me like standing on a step stool trying to measure Marvin Bagley, and then standing on another step stool and trying to measure like Harrison Barnes, and then me standing straight on the ground and measuring Yogi Ferrell. So
and Kyle Guy, that's the other one. Kyle Guy did not like this bit.
Yeah,
he didn't
need a step stool either. I just stood there. Yeah,
Kyle Guy.
Now that was fun, man. I be wanting to know where all of this footage goes. You know what I'm saying? You know what happens is they're not gonna show this footage till I get in trouble.
Oh.
So once I get in trouble, all of this goes into my documentary about how they knew I was like this the whole time. And then it's like, you know what I mean? Like, he was a psycho. He used to just come to the facility with tape measures and try to measure men. And they gonna do it. I'm telling you, this is how they do. This is how they do these documentaries, man. And they put it off like I was some person the whole time that I wasn't.
Brutal.
I'm here for it.
For my guy. Lance Woods joining us now. He is performing at Laughs Unlimited tonight and tomorrow. Tickets available at laughsunlimited.com. Lance, the Kings currently in the number 9 seed, but it's very jumbled in the West. They're firmly in the hunt for a postseason spot. What's your confidence level in the Kings with 20-ish games to go?
I feel very confident. I feel like it feels like they're playing with house money. Like somehow the expectations feel like they left, even though the productivity feels similar. So, outside of injuries, like Sabonis got to get healthy and Monk got to get healthy. But I mean, after that, man, I like our chances as anybody. With Dallas, you know what I mean, looking like their season might be close to done. The Clippers is inconsistent, and you don't know what they are as far as health goes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like it. I like it. I want to get to that 6th spot. The play-in is stressful.
No doubt.
Play-in is a very stressful place.
Hate it.
But I'm confident. 20 games left. I mean, I think we can easily go 20-0.
Oh, yeah. I don't see. I think that minimum.
I think it's very possible. 20-0 it's on the table.
Yeah.
Kyle, we have this game we want to play with.
I can't wait.
With Lance.
Okay, so Lance, the reason we talk about the sports reference sites, basketball reference, baseball reference, football reference. They have little nicknames under the player name.
They made them all up.
You did a video about this the other day.
Yeah.
About the Ben Simmons one.
Yeah.
And you say they made them all up. That's what we always, whenever we pull up a player's basketball reference page, we'll stop what we're doing to be like, hey, did you know that this is this guy's nickname? It's like, nope, no chance.
He didn't know. His mom didn't know. Nobody knew.
I actually hit up somebody at the sports reference sites and I said, hey, how do you guys get these? And he's like, yeah, if we hear it, we'll check and make sure that someone else has called him that one time. And then we just put it up there. So the game I wanted to play is I'm going to give you a nickname that I found, and I need you to try and guess who the player is.
This should be fun.
Does that play? Okay, here we go. The first one, you guys can play along in the chatty house. This is the first one. The Big Sleep.
The Big Sleep?
Yep. Which sounds morbid.
Rudy Gobert.
No, but that works. Tracy McGrady.
Oh yeah.
Who didn't know that Enoch was the Big Sleep?
Well,
because they said he had the sleepy eye.
He's a sleepy eye. Yeah.
Right. I was saying Rudy Gobert because Draymond choked him to sleep.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, the next one. The hint for this one, this player actually plays for the San Antonio Spurs currently.
Okay.
La Pantera.
La Pantera?
Yeah, La Pantera.
No,
like
my girl asked me for that when I went to Starbucks. She was like, yo, bring me back a La Pantera latte, mocha, ice, grande. Yeah.
You can order that right now, yeah. That's Bismack Biyombo.
Oh, Bismack Biyombo.
Yeah.
He don't need a nickname. We trying hard enough to get Bismack Biyombo.
Kings legend, Bismack Biyombo.
That's right. It's stressful enough saying Bismack Biyombo 10 times fast with your shoes untied.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We've got the next one is Armadillo Cowboy.
I don't know is this a PG show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we got FCC stuff.
Okay. Armadillo Cowboy?
Yeah, that's a real thing.
This is all basketball?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now hold on. I got this.
No.
I got this.
Okay, here we go.
Armadillo Cowboy. Everybody knows that's Klay Thompson.
Honestly, it fits Klay Thompson better than it fits the person who this nickname is attributed to, Joe Johnson.
Which Joe Johnson had his own great nickname.
ISO Joe.
Yeah.
Armadillo Cowboy.
Maybe this is what he called himself.
No chance.
I don't know.
I don't want to know who called him this. I don't think this is my business. Yoga Joe now.
This is frustrating.
You know Joe Johnson does yoga. He has a yoga studio in Atlanta. He's like a full yogi.
Really?
Yes.
This is not a bit?
No. ISO Joe Yoga. Look it up.
That's incredible.
He's super into yoga.
I love this for him.
He looks great. He's still shredded, ripped up. Yeah.
Outstanding. Big fella. This is the one that annoyed me. I'm so annoyed at this one.
Big fella, a lot of them. Shaq.
Big Baby. No, it's not any of them. You would think so because Big Fella is just No, Warriors legend, not quite. Joel Embiid. I want to know how Joel Embiid got to be that. Every guy who's large is Big Fella.
Yeah, my girl called me Big Fella all the time. I know that means she wants something, but I don't.
That makes sense.
My head.
There you go.
Okay, so how about this one? Big Musty. I think your girls called you that too, right?
No.
I don't know if y'all know this, but this is how black people just call you musty. Like if you musty around, they be like, yo, he was big musty. Like that's the language. So when you was like, whose nickname is this? Big musty. So, somebody on somebody's nerves. That's who that was. Him right there over here stanking. Big musty. Who's big musty? Who is big musty out there on the court?
It's an old one. Yeah. Retired.
Petrovic.
No, it was.
I don't think you're necessarily wrong, but that's not who we're looking for here. Wilt Chamberlain.
Listen, let me tell you something. I heard the numbers. Wilt Chamberlain to put down over 10, 20,000. He was not big must. That wasn't must that they were smelling.
Probably true.
Let's get to the last one.
The black hole.
Oh my goodness. How Marcus Thornton? Is that where we starting?
No, that's a good one.
That was Lil Buckets. Marcus Thornton was Lil Buckets.
Lil Buckets, black hole. I know a lot of black holes.
Okay.
Oh, that didn't sound good, huh? Hold on. Holes with an L. Let me clarify. Yeah, it's some black holes, man. Like
we could sit here and name NBA players for 6 months, and I don't think we would get this right.
Oh, snap. Okay. Give it to me.
Kevin McHale.
Kevin McHale?
Yes.
Yep.
White hole.
That was my thought.
It was right there, guys. Come on, man.
Exactly. It was right there. It was right there waiting for it.
There they go. Still the minorities' jobs again.
Unreal. You're at Laughs Unlimited tonight and tomorrow. When do those shows start, and where can people get to
7 and 9:30. LaughsUnlimited.com to get your tickets. It's going to be cobblestone, so just know that when you walk in an old sack, it's right by Joe's Crab Shack, right next door to the candy store. They don't give out free samples no more. You remember the candy heaven in old sack used to give out free samples? They don't give out free samples no more. They say ever since COVID, I got a mask on, give me the candy. What are we talking about?
Facts. That's the only reason I went to Old Town.
Yeah, the barrels.
Yeah,
the barrels.
And it's like you can have. You want to buy anything? Like, no, I'm full now.
Yeah, exactly. You can get a few samples. I don't have a good gauge of few. So this is a few to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lance, appreciate your time, man.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah,
you guys are doing a great job.
Wow, thanks, man. That means a lot. Means a lot.
Thanks, man.
Shout out to Jiffy Lube.
We love Jiffy Lube.
That's right.
My man.
That's right.
Man.
Hey, Jiffy Lube, when I come for an oil change, that's all I want. Leave me alone.
They do so much for you, though, Lance.
I don't want none of that stuff, man. My brake lights is fine. Change the oil and let me up out of here, man. They come back with this filter is dirty. It's gonna be dirty when I leave. Put the oil in and let me go about my business, man. Your AC duct. Listen, man. Put the oil in the car. You're lucky I'm here. I usually put cooking oil in here. Put the oil in here and let me get up out of here, man. I put the oil from church. This car is blessed. I come when the check engine light go off. That's when I get afraid. Thank you, man.
Thanks, Lance.
Good seeing you, Lance.
Take care, buddy.
Always.
Yeah, we'll talk soon. Lance Woods, Laughs Unlimited, laughsunlimited.com for your tickets. He's one of the best. Big fan of Lance.
That's good stuff, Kyle.
Yeah, man.
We should have our guy Lance Woods on more often.
How does Jaden McDaniels get Big Mac? Of all the people, Jaden McDaniels gets to be Big Mac. Mark McGuire is Big Mac in Major League Baseball. We're just handing that to Jaden McDaniels.
Well, I guess like Xavier McDaniels had like.
Why was Kevin McHale not Big Mac?
That's a good question.
Doesn't make any sense.
Or as Lance said, white hole.
Yeah, it's right there.
It is right there.
It's right there. Shifting gears briefly before we get back into Kings-Spurs tonight. Lawrence Butler of your Sacramento A's The A's just doing business left and right. They've extended Brent Rooker. And after the Rooker extension, there was word like, oh no, they're working on some other stuff. And this was it. Lawrence Butler, 7 years, $65.5 million. We've said this before about Lawrence Butler. A1 dude. Great guy.
Oh yeah. Super fun.
If you are wondering why you should go watch the A's in Sacramento, Lawrence Butler is the number one player on my list when it comes to reasons to head to Sutter Health Park to watch the A's. He is hits for power, sweet swing, really fun defensively, going to steal some bases. And like I said, overall, really great guy. Really, really easy to root for.
Yeah, he's just dynamic. And the A's haven't had a lot of dynamic players like him over the last even like 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a guy that just like jumps off the screen every time you see him.
Yep.
So I think fans should be really excited. What he did in the second half of last season was off the charts. So
incredible.
I love a 7 year, $65.5 million deal. That means he's going to be here all the way through his pre-arbitration and arbitration years, and then an additional like 2 or 3 years after that.
Yeah.
They've got him locked up realistically until he's like 32 on a reasonable contract. That's absolutely crazy. So good for the A's.
Yep, for sure. Hey, who's on? Joe, can we get to line 1? Did you let us know who that is? Okay, no, let's just do it. Let's let it rip. Show's already off the rails.
All right.
Don, you're on the Insiders. What's up?
I think my name is Jared. You talking to me?
Yeah,
Hey.
Sorry about that, Jared. Our call screener got the name wrong. What's up?
You're good, dude. Hey, I just wanted to give you some credit, Kyle, because yesterday during the handoff, we were getting the fake James Ham story, who some people call James Scam. It's great.
Yeah.
But you, I believe this was totally original off the dome, called him James Canadian Bacon, and your co-host left it entirely unacknowledged. And I thought you needed some credit for that, because that was an original idea. That was fantastic.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
I enjoyed it in the moment. I did.
I laughed.
But there was too much going on.
There's a lot going on.
There was a lot going on.
No, I appreciate that. Thanks, man. Yeah, James Canadian Bacon. Absolutely.
That's right.
Our other guy, yeah, everyone else is gone. So
Everyone else is gone.
appreciate everybody who's called into the Elk Grove Kia Talk line today.
We lost Big E. We lost some of the others. Sorry.
It was a hot line today, though. Thank you, everyone, for calling in. This was great.
Yeah, man. We have fun. Darren Fox visiting with the San Antonio Spurs tonight. The Kings last night, real quick, got no help.
None.
Nobody in the West lost. The Warriors beat the Nets. The Nets had 37-7 worth of runs in that game. They started 27-5.
Okay.
The Nets did. And then they finished the game on a 10-2 run.
They were up 27-5 to start the game.
27-5. And they lost.
And lost.
They were down 10 with a minute left.
Shakespeare
And then went on a 10-2 run. So they had 37-7 worth of runs across like 9.5 minutes of game time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're
Shout out to Jordy Fernandez, dude. That's a fun team.
They're now 20 games under 500 after being like in the playoff hunt for a long time.
Still not sold on the Warriors just yet. Don't love falling behind by 22 to the Nets and then struggling for a while with the Hornets. But they just kind of keep on winning. The Rockets beat the Pelicans 109-97, and then the Lakers beat the Knicks 113-109. Doesn't really affect the Kings. That was just a really fun game, and Luka and LeBron make them championship contenders.
We'll see how it all works out in the end, Kyle.
We will. But man, that level of just creation and shot making. And all of a sudden, Jackson Hayes is catching on the roll and spraying out a perfect pass to Austin Reeves for a huge three. Like, come on, man.
That doesn't make any sense.
Jackson
What you just
Hayes
said,
is just hooping now?
I don't believe this happened.
All right, man.
I don't believe the
whatever,
game actually happened.
Whatever. God, I need something to go wrong for them.
Okay.
Like my disdain for the Lakers
it just keeps growing.
It's just dormant inside of me and the worst. Anyways, the handoff coming up next. He's James Ham. I'm Kyle Madsen. Joe Brazil's pushing buttons. We're the Insiders, sponsored by Jiffy Lube on ESPN 1320 and Sacramento Sports Center. Yeah, Pod's getting hurt wasn't good for them. They really struggled holding on to the basketball.
I got to be honest. I did not know that Trey Jemison III is an actual person.
Yeah, getting a lot of burn at It's center.
Alex Len did not get any burn. Did we do, let's see, Stephen. Oh.
Do you guys have any idea at all what this could possibly mean?
What? They're just saying that, like, Joe Brazil's sounds like a steakhouse.
So my name sounds like a restaurant?
Just straight up, it sounds.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, cool. That's a compliment. I'll take it.
Sloppy steaks at Joe Brazil's.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
Oh.
They can't stop you from ordering a steak and a glass of water.
Oh, my God.
Are you and I think you should leave, guy?
And a what?
I think you should leave?
No.
Oh. Oh, Birdcage was a mall. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Birdcage Walk is like it's across from the Sunrise Mall.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Got it.
So I knew what that was.
Joe Brazil's. Okay, I got you.
They also had the Dollar Theater there.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I spent a ton of time there as a kid. Shout out that place.
Got my wife's engagement ring there at Kenny G's.
Oh, yeah. That's sick.
Many years ago.
Surprised you could see him. Dude.
Yes.
Good question.
Yes, we're not doing this right now. Absolutely. I'm going to put you guys on real quick if you want really good scrambled eggs. You scramble it with a little bit of half and half creamer or just like heavy creamer. Not creamer, milk.
Heavy cream.
Heavy cream. Sorry, it's not sweet. A little bit of heavy cream as you're scrambling the eggs before you put it in the pan. Dude, I'm telling you. Try it.
I'm going to not do that.
Grandma's special, man. Come on.
Now, back to the Insiders with James Ham and Kyle Madsen, brought to you by Jiffy Lube on ESPN 1320.
Oh, Kyle, he's Joe. I'm Kyle, he's James. Joe is also here. I did not realize. I thought that there were like certain types of eggs and everybody ate eggs kind of the same way. And that's just what it was. But then I found out Jesse Tapia, who produces D'Lo and KC, who's going to join us for the handoff here shortly. I found out that Jesse Tapia does not put salt on his eggs.
Like any eggs or like hard-boiled eggs or like
not at all.
No eggs.
No salt.
On any egg.
On any egg.
Okay.
And it's not that he thinks it's weird. And if you're like, hey, I'm cutting down on my sodium, I'm trying not to eat a lot of salt, fine, whatever. But his thing is like, no, that's weird to salt eggs. And it's like, no, it's not. That's just what people do. And now I've got Joe at the break telling me to put heavy cream in my eggs.
Yeah, or milk.
Absolutely not.
You know, if you're making an omelet or scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs. Of course. We're not pouring milk on top of a fried egg.
To make scrambled eggs, you do put a little bit of milk to
absolutely not.
Fluff up the egg.
No, you just whip all that together and you dump it in the pan and you cook it.
Oh no!
I'm putting milk in my eggs.
It fluffs up your eggs.
It's really good.
I don't need that to happen.
You don't need fluffy eggs.
No,
you're all right with.
I'm dumping milk in eggs. That's disgusting.
I'm gonna bring you some eggs.
Do not bring me eggs.
Yeah,
I might make you an omelet one day.
No, absolutely
not. He's
gonna
make you an omelet too. Yeah,
just like whip up an omelet right here.
Y'all are crazy. That's fine. If I'm the one in the wrong on this take, if I'm the one with the insane egg take, then I'll take that. That's fine.
Looks like the chat's on my side.
that may or may not be good news.
It's wild. What's happening? Oh, we got Jesse.
Yeah,
today?
Jesse's pulling up.
All right.
D'Lo and Casey are recording stuff, so they're
all right.
So Jesse's gonna rock with us for the handoff.
We have a lot of chaos going on here in the chat today. I will say you highlighted. Where did that go?
Boy, that's a great point by Alfonso.
What is more concerning? Domas potentially wanting to have a similar discussion that De'Aaron Fox did, or Angeli having a big voice. Like, look, Anjali having a big voice, it was always going to be one of Vivek's kids, and I don't have any problem with it being Anjali versus Anil, or
sure.
like any one of his 3 kids. Somebody was always going to have a voice. I did not think it would be Anjali because she wasn't around the franchise for the first decade he was here. But at the end of the day, like, someone's going to have a voice from the family forever. And so it being her, that makes perfect sense. The Domas stuff is super concerning.
Yeah, for sure.
It is. But again, you address the things that Domas and Fox have had questions about, and you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. If Domantas Sabonis wants to talk this offseason and he says, hey, I would like to see these changes, if you're going to commit to Domantas Sabonis being your franchise center, then you make those changes.
Yeah.
Jesse Tapia, what's up?
Jip forgot you guys switched up the break schedule when we were not on break right now.
Oh, no, we're back.
Yeah, no, we're live. We're good.
Yeah, no, we're super live.
Yeah.
All right.
That I read both of those Fox articles this morning. It kind of just points to dysfunction to me.
I have not gotten to the ESPN one yet.
No. It's more of the same, I think.
It's very similar. It does not have nearly, again, Sam is the best postmortem writer that there is in the NBA. Yeah. It doesn't have nearly the same, like there's a lot of stuff that we've already heard from Fox, and that it's more of just Fox's side as opposed to what Amick has, which is like all kinds of behind the scenes, like scuttlebutt.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of cooks in the kitchen, I guess.
Hey, that's what we said.
Yeah, we said.
Except never a good
James
thing.
said it was more like culinary school because none of the cooks kind of really know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, that's
well, there are some cooks that do.
Yeah.
But then others that they're, like that aren't there yet.
Oof.
And no one is taking the role of like head chef and sous chef, and like it is what it is.
I think there's obviously this is all being said in the context of De'Aaron Fox saying like, I don't like this, I want out.
Mm-hmm.
We've been having, I think, these two conversations at the same time today, but really they're two separate things. Like, you can feel however you feel about De'Aaron Fox. You can think that like, oh man, to hell with him. He stinks. Zach LaVine's better. I'm glad he's gone. He didn't give 100%. He wanted out. That's fine. But that's separate from the dysfunction that is just very, very evident.
Well, can you
with the organization?
Can you fault De'Aaron Fox too, from I guess looking at it from his point of view, and if the dysfunction and all that stuff is there, just how can you continue to deal with that?
Yeah, so that's what we've been wondering all day.
Yeah.
And that's I personally don't, but I think there's some people who are. That's why I think it's separate. I think there are people who are like, yeah, okay, he might have wanted out, but also like he didn't carry his weight. He didn't do enough to get the team where they wanted to go, and instead made excuses and then used that to leave.
Yeah, and it's kind of like too, like it's all just one big old mess, because then you learn
it's a disaster.
In the offseason, there's people who didn't want Mike Brown around. So it's kind of all right. We keep Mike Brown around and keep this one guy happy, or let him go and keep these others happy, or whatever. Like you're just kind of stuck at that point.
Yeah, it's a total, like it has been this same way forever. It's just like you never know what's the next shoe to drop, and who's the next name that's going to be entering into the window. And like, because again, 6 months ago, like I guess the question is, about Anjali being part of this. 6 months ago, she wasn't really part of this. A year ago, she had stepped down as the general manager of the Stockton Kings. And then it was like she wasn't really like in anybody's, like, I don't know, we weren't seeing her around a lot and all that stuff. Then all of a sudden this season, it's like, oh no, she's in it. Like she's in the thick of it in this entire story. And so it's different. It's just like new players in the game, and that's par for the course.
That's one thing I wasn't able to fully glean from the article is like there's a quote from a person in the Kings organization joking that like we're all going to be working for Jeremy Lamb someday.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It's like, wait, was he actually like in meeting rooms where they're going, hey, Jeremy, your thoughts on Mike Brown?
Seemed like he was along for the ride. I don't know how involved he was, but it seemed like he was at least along for the ride.
Right. And so that's what I wonder with Anjali. Is it, yeah, she's around, or is she the one pulling strings where she says, yeah, I think we should do this, and it's like, nope, overriding everything else. That's what we're doing. I have no clue.
What the Kings need is a president of basketball operations.
That's it.
Hire the one guy, Vivek, you go cut the checks, sit center court, that's it. And then let the president of basketball operations hire whoever he needs to hire and make decisions. You need one guy.
I think that there's always going to be a layer of ownership that says yes or no to a major deal. And it almost feels like if we look at the Dallas Mavericks situation, like it feels like the general manager just went ahead and traded Luka Doncic without.
If you're trading my franchise player, let me know because there's money like that. An owner should at least be in the loop with that.
Ownership has to sign off on stuff for sure.
But everything else, I think, keep it to the just like I said, one guy, he hires his people or whatever, and it's just there's one guy who makes decisions here.
And then you have to let stuff play out.
Mm-hmm.
If you hire a guy, let's say this offseason, they say we're clearing it out. Vivek says, get every consultant, everybody else out of here. Anjali, you're going to be here as the heir apparent, but for like the business side of stuff, we'll do all that. We're hiring Bob Myers, president of basketball ops. Bob, hire whoever you need to hire. You got it.
Yeah, Bob's the guy.
And then if the Kings and he hires his coach or whatever, and the Kings make a bunch of changes and they go 30-52 next year. And again, not with this roster. They make a bunch of changes and everything's different. You can't immediately go, okay, well, everyone's on the hot seat now. You better make the playoffs next year. Somebody needs to be given the grace and the time to actually build a program. And if after 4 years or whatever length of time, 3, 4, 5 years, you're like, hey, I don't like the direction this is heading, then you make some changes internally.
You guys think they could fix what's going on right now? Or are they due for a restart?
What do you mean fix?
Reel it in as far as
get back on track.
Get back on track. There's less dysfunction. Maybe Monty's like you just like the article said. Like it's just we don't know who's calling the shots here. There's so many people involved. I guess it's not that.
I think they can.
You think they will.
I would be less inclined to think they will, because if they pull the plug on everything and say, okay, hang on, hard reset at the top. We're doing the president of basketball ops. I'm going to say Bob Myers just because that's the first name that popped into my head. Bob Myers is hired. Vivek's clearing out. It's his show. He's the face. He's going to run everything. Then I think there's a chance that you can get this going the right way. I think they have enough talent on the roster to get this thing moving back the right direction. But man, the odds of that happening, I think, are pretty slim.
I mean, you've created like a really odd window.
Yes.
I mean, like this offseason, DeMar DeRozan is entering the last year of his contract. He has one more year that you have a $10 million buyout for, but it's also Zach LaVine is entering the final 2 years of his deal. You have to make a decision on Keegan Murray. You know, there are a lot of things. Jake LaRavia, you and I got Jake LaRavia, but you may have him for a season. You might not be able to keep him this offseason. Jonas Valanciunas, he's got a 10 point whatever $1 million salary for next year and a team or I think it's a team option for a third year. Like this could be the last year of this group, but the fact is that I don't think Vivek ever wants to start over again. He doesn't want to go back to 2016, 2017, and 2018 where you're acquiring as many draft picks as possible, and because it doesn't always work that way. Like there's only one Sam Presti who's able to build this like empire off of, and even he missed on a whole bunch of guys that. But he just had so many picks. It was okay if he missed on a couple of players. Just like to rebuild this thing, I don't think that they're ever going to be in that mode. And that's going to put them in a major disadvantage because that's usually how you have to reset. But when you drive ticket prices up to the way that they are, you'll have 10,000 fans in the building and your season ticket base will drop unless you can maintain a certain level of win-loss. And I don't see them being able to do that.
And if your goal every year is just make the playoffs, then you're going to see probably a lot of this.
And there's a thing where you got a great coach. So, I mean, he's 19-10 right now, Doug Christie, since he took over?
19-11.
19-11. And it's like, we love Doug, but we love the front office. And are they tied together? And it's just a mess.
Yeah, not a good spot. You know what is a good spot?
D'Lo and KC.
Well, obviously D'Lo and KC, but my underdog lineups right now, I'm 3 for 3 in my last 3 underdog lineups.
It's called a heater.
And not even with the flex plays. I am getting everything right.
Oh.
I've had 10 players in my lineups the last 3 days. All 10
That's what we like
did what I needed them to do. Last night, Draymond Green, higher than 5.5 assists, 10 assists for Draymond. Karl-Anthony Towns, higher than 11.5 rebounds, 14 boards for Karl-Anthony Towns. And then Luka Doncic, I needed him to go higher than 28.5 points. He got there thanks to overtime. He scored 32 points. I was 3 for 3. And I would love for you to play along with Underdog's Pick'em game. It's super easy. You pick 2 or more players. You pick higher or lower on their stats, points, assists, rebounds. You know the deal. They've got all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. Create entries with all basketball picks or mix and match across other sports. Download the Underdog app and sign up now using the promo code KyleM to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credit when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code KyleM. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus credit instantly upon first deposit. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Underdog. Pro. Thanks. What do you guys got coming up on D'Lo and Casey?
A lot of this, De'Aaron Fox coming back. It's obviously what people are going to want to talk about. You guys will be on the show. Eddie Gonzalez.
Can't wait.
A lot of King stuff.
Can't wait. D'Lo and KC coming up next. James and I are done for the weekend. We'll talk to you Monday at 10 a.m. Joe Brazil, appreciate you. We're back Monday at 10 on the Insiders on ESPN 1320, Sacramento Sports Leader. Until then, drink water, be nice, people. Bye.